This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it, that it's a Freeform Friday, and that matter right there does not matter because it doesn't matter who I am. What has always been the important part with our little show is who the hell you are, because that's the important part. Anyways, today is Friday, August the 9th of 2024, day 222nd of the year, and only 144 days left to go. Anyways, we are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I hit the mute button, but I decided to cough in your ear. Yeah, not exactly how you want to start off your morning. So anyways, how have you been? It's important. It's an important question. Any life-changing events yesterday for you? Well, I had some. I mean, I'm not going to lie here. I had the opportunity yesterday to go to the strangest place. Well, it's not strange. I should rephrase that because that's a lie. It's not strange. I actually had the opportunity to go to the Orlando Magic Training Center yesterday. I don't know how the hell I got there. I mean, besides driving, but I mean, it was a pretty interesting experience just to see overall, in regards of the building and all that you have inside of the facility. Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I'm not going to lie here. And I will tell you, it's been years and years and years since I really sat around and watched basketball. So it was pretty intriguing to see. I mean, I'm just letting you know. It's a building, I get it, and it's stuff. It's building with stuff, but I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. You know, and all the advancements in technology on how they train athletes now is just kind of an impressive thing. But there you go. Thanks to the Magic for that, that's for sure. Anyways, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because we got Freeform Friday, which means we get to play catch-up today on everything that we didn't talk about earlier in the week. Also, you know, we're going further down the pipe in regards of getting closer to the 1,000th episode. Yeah, I mean, if everything pans out, it would look like it's next week, but matter of fact, week and a half. But let's kind of hold off because I got some other things to discuss, and we'll talk about that. What else? If you want to interact with the show, callinradio.com. We'll get you here. We'll get you inside of our system. Video, audio, and text messaging is kind of the way that it works. So a little bit of everything-o. So there you go, for us to talk about. So just keep that in mind. So we got some of that. What else do we have? So that's it. That's it. Safety in the news is what the show consists of. We are on radiobig.fm. We are on Safety FM, simulcasting currently, and then we're going across the streamers. And then if you miss part of this, we'll pop up on a podcast network around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the episode's scheduled to drop normally. So there you go. And we only do the first hour because this is a 3-hour show, just in case. Because I know some people go, what? You say that it's 3 hours. We only get to 1 hour. Okay, yeah, it's 1 hour on the podcast. So we kind of segment them up as we do it. So there you go. Information going on. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about what the hell was trending.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I look at the trends of the ends, damning new evidence in the July the 13th assassination investigation and more legal woes for Delta and CrowdStrike. We'll talk about that as we get into the shit list. Also, update on terror plot against Swifties in Vienna. We'll talk about that as we get into showbiz. Another Yellowstone spinoff is in the works so we'll see what happens there because, why don't we just spin off and then spin off again and then do some other spinoffs. Also, Kate Blanchett enjoyed her free sandwiches while filming The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we'll talk about that as we get into casting calls. And also family drama in Norway's royal family. So, because we like us some drama. Drama mama. I mean, you've noticed this. This is what we kind of look at all the time. It's all about the drama because we all want to be royals and not with cheese. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, I have some professional newscasters that are waiting. Yes, I did say waiting to talk to you a little bit about what the hell is going on inside of the world of the news. So why don't we go ahead and get to them right now and start talking about the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Donald Trump has announced he wants 3 presidential debates with Kamala Harris before the election in November. The former US president spoke at a news conference at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, his first major event since Harris was announced as the Democratic candidate for the US presidency. Jody Jacobs reports from New York.
In a press conference that lasted more than an hour, Donald Trump laid into U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. With a slew of insults, Trump said, quote, "She is not smart enough to do a news conference." Trump told journalists that he is confident that he will win with a landslide. He also went on to attack Harris's policy stances, saying she is, quote, "a radical left person." The Republican nominee announced 3 upcoming dates for presidential debates in September, but added the minor details are being worked out, including the audience and the locations. Harris's campaign trail has been in full swing this week, with 2 key national polls placing her ahead of Donald Trump in the race for the U.S. presidency in November. Jody Jacobs, New York.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow must feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. He didn't directly reference this week's Ukraine cross-border attack into Russia's Kursk region. Russia says the Ukrainian incursion is a major provocation. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says swift justice handed out to rioters is acting as a strong deterrent. Thursday night was calm in English towns and cities, but the Prime Minister's urged police to remain on high alert for disorder this weekend. Acting Deputy National Chair of the Police Federation of England and Wales, Brian Booth, says officers have been working hard.
Members have really stepped up to the plate. They've shown amazing bravery. They've had their annual leave cancelled. We have got resourcing available because our colleagues, when they finish that long shift, they might be starting very early in the morning. They jump in a van. Officers from the Midlands, we deploy to violence in the Midlands, then up to Newcastle and back, and doing between 18 and 20-hour shifts. They go home for a very short period. They come back, stick on the uniform, and they go and do it again.
The US has announced $424 million in aid and humanitarian assistance for the Democratic Republic of Congo. The East African country is facing disaster as a result of armed violence in the east. Leon Solomon reports.
$440 million of the package will be allocated to humanitarian assistance. According to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, there are at least 7.3 million displaced persons in the DRC, all affected by armed violence that has plagued the country for 3 decades. The DRC and other afflicted countries in the region are currently experiencing an outbreak of the Mpox virus. $10 million of the help will go towards providing health assistance.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. A huge security operation is going to be mounted in the UK when Taylor Swift appears at Wembley Stadium later this month. The move follows the at least partial unravelling of an alleged plot to attack her Eras concert tour gigs in Vienna. Austrian police arrested 2 men and say one of them had recently pledged allegiance to Islamic State.
No one wants to see an event closed down because of a threat or the likelihood of terrorism.
Steve Park is a security analyst with Global Security Resources in London.
The threat hasn't gone away. It's an ongoing investigation, and obviously the police decided to step in because obviously with these private events you have private security, and you have obviously they are liaising with the police force or the military that might be able to help them with security outside of the public arena. We've seen events being attacked. We've seen threats that have been made, and perhaps they haven't closed venues down. We've looked at the recent things that have been going on in the Olympics, and obviously the police have been able to manage the saboteurs and the kind of things that have been going on, and a lot more than we actually know of. I can only say that this is an ongoing event.
Wembley Stadium has a seating capacity of 90,000, and of course Taylor Swift's 5 nights there are sold out. I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Donald Trump has announced he wants 3 presidential debates with Kamala Harris before the election. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow must feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says swift justice handed to rioters is acting as a strong deterrent. And the US has announced $424 million in aid and humanitarian assistance for the DRC amid ongoing armed violence in the east. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen to our host
Of the Rated R Safety Show.
self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
We all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Polzel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
if you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Yes, the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM. Yes, that's what's going on. Anyways, currently 16 minutes past the top of the hour, and we are about to get into the plethora of things that we have going on. So there you go. Anyway, so let's get into the move and the groove, and it's time to start talking about what the hell's going on inside of the world of the shit list. By the way, somebody asked me a few days ago, which I thought was kind of interesting, on why do I wear the headphones backwards? Because I'm not going to put them behind my head. I mean, that's the whole reason. So that's why you see the wire, because somebody was like, you're supposed to wear the wire behind you. I didn't know that was important, but it was like somebody sent the question in, and I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to do. I mean, to reference, I don't think it matters. I mean, I do radio. I don't care how it looks. Well, I guess I do care to some extent how it looks. But let's get into it. Let's get into the shit list right away. The Wall Street Journal on Thursday published body cam videos of local enforcement in Butler, Pennsylvania, recorded shortly after the July the 13th assassination attempt, in which officers talk to each other about the Secret Service failing to address their concerns about the very building where the shooter positioned himself. One officer can be heard saying, I fucking told that they need to post a fucking guy over here. I told them that on fucking Tuesday. I talked to the Secret Service guys, and they're like, yeah, no problem. We're going to post a guy over there. That's what it said. Another officer says that the shooter was creeping people out, and they had eyes on him throughout the afternoon before the shooting. So there you go. Shortly after the shooting, another officer can be heard asking in frustration, why were we not on the roof? Why weren't we? And then why weren't they? Indeed. So there you go. A lot of stuff with the video. Where do we want to go today? I got the video. I do. So I guess we could do the video if you're interested. If you're interested, I'm always interested. I always get kind of worried, though, with how some of the stuff's going to come across, because you know that we're going to get like 10,000 ads because it's the way that it works. So let's do this. Let's see what I can pull off here, because I'm always intrigued on how the system's going to work or not work. So we'll do some exclusive video aspect here. Let's get the sound rolling, because for the listeners at home. So here you go.
Back up.
And if for those who cannot see it, you hear the guy.
Hey, someone on me. Knocking fire. I need manpower. Someone on me.
And they're running essentially.
Lady's been shot.
Hold on.
And they're trying essentially to get to the back of this building to climb on top.
I fucking told them they need to post the guys fucking over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post fucking guys over here. I have no contact with you. What? No. We're inside. Alpha 1, Bravo 1.
So now they're like debating on who should be on the roof. That gets interesting.
I told them to post guys over here.
I wasn't even concerned about it because I thought someone was on the roof. I thought that's how we. Like, how can you lose a guy walking back here?
They were inside.
So the footage also shows the moment the officer climbed onto the roof, spotted the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, before he had fired any shots. So there you go. I mean, it's kind of an interesting one when you start taking a look, and the guy's body cam. You know, you can just see the weird angles because it's a body cam.
This close, bro. Dude, he turned around on me. He's straight up.
Okay, did the motorcade come by you?
So now they are on the rooftop with somebody dressed in military personnel and military garb.
Dude, that's what I was fucking calling out, bro. Fucking on top of the roof. Fucking, we on the same frequency?
And then all you can see is the rooftop.
I hear you.
Now some different angles.
Couldn't find him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting one to say the least. I mean, I'm not going to lie here when we start talking about this stuff. So it gets very weird when you start looking at the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I know nothing about this stuff. I can only tell you what we're able to get our hands on when we start looking around. So there you go. Anyways, a New York judge has approved a creditor payback program for FTX, the defunct crypto exchange. Under the order, FTX will pay back $12.7 billion to spat of creditors, including customers, vendors, and the IRS. The order does not specify the civil penalties. Most likely, it will have to continue as a company once everyone is made whole. Not that FTX could if it wanted to, since the order has banned the trading digital assets. Well, let me rephrase that. Will not be able to continue with their as a company. Worth noting, while the news welcomed the relief for everyone, many customers remain rightfully irritated that the Bitcoin holdings they lost when the exchange filed for bankruptcy are now worth more than triple than what they were at the time. The order ends on a months-long debacle that saw FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried sent to prison for 25 years for misusing customers' funds and other frauds. Other company executives still await trial for their roles. This is according to CoinDesk. So, I mean, I understand being frustrated about things, but it doesn't give you any kind of order in regards of who's getting paid first, because that's going to be an important thing. Like, is the IRS the group of people that are going to get paid first? And then, okay, so we're going to talk now that the value was triple of what it was before, or the value is triple now before they went under. I'm sorry, but getting your money back might be the important aspect opposed to the tripling of the stuff. Shoulda, coulda, woulda type of questions are going to end up coming up there. But if it was a defunct there, I mean, how are they going to give you triple the money? I mean, the company was trying to do everything to go under once everything started moving. So I would probably be just happy that I was able to get my initial investment back.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Why do I have to be an idiot? Because I'm keeping it real, man. Because I'm keeping it real. Anyways, another lawsuit related to CrowdStrike outages, this time by customers against Delta. The group of flyers have joined the class action suit, alleging that the airline didn't do enough to facilitate refunds and provide accommodations for customers as they awaited new bookings. Delta's failure to recover from the CrowdStrike outage left passengers stranded in airports across the country and the world, and in many cases thousands of miles from home, the suit says in part. Let's see, Delta announces the plans to sue CrowdStrike, but has not yet filed the paperwork. In the war of words, CrowdStrike says that liability is limited to the single-digit millions. Per their agreement with Delta, the airline CEO has said that their losses have amounted to over $500 million. Now, let's be realistic. This is doing shit in the press, is really what it boils down to. Where you're turning around saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Because what you're looking to do is save face, number one. Number two on the incursion here is scarcity. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the whole thing where people are saying, I'm going to do this if you, because that's what I think I'm going to do. It's to see if people will come out of their way and do something ahead of time. That's what it boils down to. Let's not lie here. This is what's going on. It's that old play on thing. If you do this, I'm going to do that. So there you go. It gets weird. But hey, I guess it's kind of part of the world that we live in at the moment. Anyways, take a listen to this. An Iowa man faces multiple charges after causing mischief and stealing a car early Tuesday morning in Des Moines, all while buck naked. Yeah, video was taken from onlookers to show Tyler Murray Johnson running through the city streets before jumping into an open window of a parked car, and the driver still inside. Johnson then dives in the driver's seat and sits down on in the shotgun position while the stunned driver exits the vehicle. Then Johnson slides behind the wheel and guns it in reverse, knocking the car owner onto the ground. He unfortunately only sustained minor injuries. As for Johnson, he crashed into a tree, giving the cops time to catch up with him. He's been booked on the Polk County Jail and faces charges of second-degree theft and driving with a suspended license through apparently nothing for running around buff naked. So, I don't know. If he has some dude in the nude running around and doing his thingo, are you sure that the main thing that we're going to be concerned about is that the dude was nude, or not nude, but the guy was driving with a suspended license? I don't know if that's the one that I'm going to die on the hill for. I just look at it and go, it gets interesting as we are speaking about it. So I don't know. What do you think about this nude outtake in regards of stuff inside of life? That's for sure. I just look at it and go, it gets interesting as we are talking. So there you go. I got the video, so I guess I could share this. Do you want to see? Yeah, I think it's like 54. So let's do this. Okay, this is coming from TMZ, so take a look. Take a look in, I guess, a gander. So you'll see the guy running in the buff right here. And he's hightailing it. We'll say that, low-tailing it. Now he's slowed down and is turning towards the onlooker, running fully naked. And this guy looks like he might be in a Chevy Volt. It kind of looks Chevy Voltish. And all of a sudden, you see the person jump into the car. And all of a sudden, now you have some people there. And they're kind of going, what the hell's going on? And the dude jumps out of the car. And he's givenly jumped out of the car with the naked dude sitting there, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Not much else going on there. I guess I already have given you a pretty good descriptor of what's going on. And the guy essentially ran over because he left the door open. It's really what it boils down to. So there you go. Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. No doubt about that. So there you go. That's giving us the info from TMZ. So there you go. I don't know. Strange world we live in sometimes when it comes to certain things. So let's talk real quick about the Olympics because people are caring about this. Team USA Olympics milestones. Noah Lyles takes home the bronze for the 200-meter run in the race while having COVID. Let's see. Sydney Lavarne dominated the women's 400-meter hurdles, taking home gold in a world record. Grant Holloway takes gold home for 110-meter hurdles on Thursday, while fellow team member USA runner Daniel Roberts grabbed silver. Speed climber Sam Weston broke the world record set earlier in the week with his bronze win in the men's speed climbing small final with a run of 4.74 seconds. Hold on. He did that with the bronze? Broke a world record. So what happened to silver and gold? Did they not break the record? I'm confused. I'm just asking the question. The men's team will go for the gold on Saturday. That's the basketball team against France after beating Serbia in a come-from-behind win on Thursday. The women's volleyball team hopes to win gold on Sunday against Brazil. And as of Thursday evening Central Time, the U.S. has The most gold medals with 30, followed by China with 29, Australia with 18. Most overall medals goes to Team USA with 103, followed by China with 73, and France. So there you go. That's some knowledge for you. Let's talk about the Dow real quick because some people are going to care about this. The Dow gained about 683 points to close at 39,446 on Thursday. The S&P, increased by 119 points to close at 5,319. And the NASDAQ added about 464 points to close at 16,660. West Texas Intermediate closed at $76 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $79 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.45 on Thursday. Bitcoin surged more than 8% on Thursday, trading back up around $60,000. And there was more than 6,000, 6015, delayed flights within and to and out of the United States on Thursday, with about 165 such cancellations. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $398 million jackpot, or $197.9 million cash payout. If you want to play the game, I guess it's time to do so, because Saturday night's Powerball drawing will be for $201 million jackpot, or $100 million cash payout. So there you go. Lot of stuff to talk about as we are talking and hanging out. Take a listen to this real quick. Do you know Colin Just? From SNL fame? Well, he called it quits on covering the Olympics after a string of health-related issues. As previously reported, Colin was on the scene in Tahiti covering the surfing competition. It was there where he scraped his foot on some coral reef. Things took a turn for the worse when his cuts got infected. He also developed an ear infection, too. Australian weatherman Luke Brandeman has taken over for Colin for the commentary duty. So there you go. I mean, that's kind of a weird time there. I mean, you're going to Tahiti. I mean, I don't know if he went with his wife. I mean, good for him if he did. But then all of a sudden for this to go down, that's not a good time. Ear infection, foot infection, and your wife's there? I mean, I don't know. We're making some assumptions that the wife's there. So there you go. So now we'll see what ends up happening.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's do this. Let me take a look-sir real quick at something real quick as we do that. Okay, so it is 32 minutes past. So what does this mean for you and I? Well, it normally means that it's main story time. But we know that on Friday we kind of do some convoluted stuff because I know how much people want to know what the hell's going on with news. So let's do that.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Story news in London. I'm Ollie Barrett. Donald Trump has announced he wants 3 presidential debates with Kamala Harris before the election in November. The former US president spoke at a news conference at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, his first major event since Harris was announced as the Democratic candidate for the US presidency. Jody Jacobs reports from New York.
In a press conference that lasted more than an hour, Donald Trump laid into U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. With a slew of insults, Trump said, quote, "She is not smart enough to do a news conference." Trump told journalists that he is confident that he will win with a landslide. He also went on to attack Harris's policy stances, saying she is, quote, "a radical left person." The Republican nominee announced 3 upcoming dates for presidential debates in September, but added the minor details are being worked out, including the audience and the locations. Harris's campaign trail has been in full swing this week, with 2 key national polls placing her ahead of Donald Trump in the race for the U.S. presidency in November. Jody Jacobs, New York.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow must feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. He didn't directly reference this week's Ukraine cross-border attack into Russia's Kursk region. Russia says the Ukrainian incursion is a major provocation. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says swift justice handed out to rioters is acting as a strong deterrent. Thursday night was calm in English towns and cities, but the Prime Minister's urged police to remain on high alert for disorder this weekend. Acting Deputy National Chair of the Police Federation of England and Wales, Brian Booth, says officers have been working hard.
Members have really stepped up to the plate. They've shown amazing bravery. They've had their annual leave cancelled. We have got resourcing available because our colleagues, when they finish that long shift, they might be starting very early in the morning. They jump in a van. Officers from the Midlands, we deploy to violence in the Midlands, then up to Newcastle and back, and doing between 18 and 20-hour shifts. They go home for a very short period. They come back, stick on the uniform, and they go and do it again.
The US has announced $424 million in aid and humanitarian assistance for the Democratic Republic of Congo. The East African country is facing disaster as a result of armed violence in the east. Leon Solomon reports.
$440 million of the package will be allocated to humanitarian assistance. According to the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, there are at least 7.3 million displaced persons in the DRC, all affected by armed violence that has plagued the country for 3 decades. The DRC and other afflicted countries in the region are currently experiencing an outbreak of the Mpox virus. $10 million of the help will go towards providing health assistance.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. A huge security operation is going to be mounted in the UK when Taylor Swift appears at Wembley Stadium later this month. The move follows the at least partial unravelling of an alleged plot to attack her Eras concert tour gigs in Vienna. Austrian police arrested 2 men and say one of them had recently pledged allegiance to Islamic State.
No one wants to see an event closed down because of a threat or the likelihood of terrorism.
Steve Park is a security analyst with Global Security Resources in London.
The threat hasn't gone away. It's an ongoing investigation, and obviously the police decided to step in because obviously with these private events you have private security, and you have obviously they are liaising with the police force or the military that might be able to help them with security outside of the public arena. We've seen events being attacked. We've seen threats that have been made, and perhaps they haven't closed venues down. We've looked at the recent things that have been going on in the Olympics, and obviously the police have been able to manage the saboteurs and the kind of things that have been going on, and a lot more than we actually know of. I can only say that this is an ongoing event.
Wembley Stadium has a seating capacity of 90,000, and of course Taylor Swift's 5 nights there are sold out. I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Donald Trump has announced he wants 3 presidential debates with Kamala Harris before the election. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow must feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says swift justice handed to rioters is acting as a strong deterrent. And the US has announced $424 million in aid and humanitarian assistance for the DRC amid ongoing armed violence in the east. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Pop quiz hotshot. During a heat wave, what's more important, air conditioning or air guitar?
Is it air conditioning?
Air guitar. The answer is always air guitar.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
You are listening to a radio god. What? This has to be an error. That host is not a radio god. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly. Less than $2 a month and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Tearing the ass out of you like gas station sushi. I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of one scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day. Improved quality of sleep. Enhanced digestive comfort and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Greens stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer. 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SafetyFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
We ain't waiting for shit. Real big.
Space and time, everything's inside. There's nothing to
Okay, there you go. 45 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show. So, this right here is Never Die by Step Rockets. No, seriously, it's Step Rockets. Giving you the rockets by the Step, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. So there you go. Would like to thank Step Rockets for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about that. Anyway, still Freeform Friday. We give you the form that's free. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk real quick about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. That's TWLOHA.com, just in case. And no matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. To Write Love on Her Arms wants you to know people have been where you are now and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. To Write Love on Her Arms, TWLOHA.com, to find out more information. Once you get there, go all the way to the far right-hand side and click on the section that says Find Help. They have information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. So there you go. To Write Love on Her Arms, TWLOHA.com. So a plethora of information readily available for you. So there you go. TWLOHA.com. So, like I always say, you never know when you might need the information. It could be possibly not for you. It could be for somebody else. So something to think about. Anyways, let's talk real quick about some things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because it's always, well, I guess it's always good to talk about. So take a listen to this, because, you know, we always have to talk a little bit about everything that is going on inside of the world of the multi. Why would you not do this? Maybe that's the other question to think about. I mean, I don't know. Some football injuries could become a thing of the past. Researchers at the University of Colorado have developed a revolutionary padding design capable of withstanding significant impacts. This comes as players consistently deal with brain trauma and from repeated head injuries. Using advanced computer algorithms, the team developed a way of redesigning the interior structure of the cushioning material. Testing it shows that 3D printed blocks can absorb roughly 6 times more energy than the standard foam and can be outperformed other designs for up to 25%. The project that the future looks promising for the development of padding can provide optimal protection under circumstances. Awesome stuff, but I don't think that I would have to help the guy who blew out his Achilles tendon trotting into the field of the Super Bowl on the last Super Bowl that occurred. I mean, I'm just saying. But alas, even when the helpless in preventing the pain comes to the lifetime of the Cleveland Brown fan. So there you go. I don't know if they're going to be releasing something along those lines. Maybe that's something to give some consideration to as we are talking.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
I don't know. I mean, I just kind of tell you the stuff that comes up. It's not like, hey, I'm the one that writes the damn thing. Just some stuff to talk about. Anyways, let's talk about some news of the weird. A woman tried to sneak into a private hospital in Turkey hours after undergoing plastic surgery in an attempt to avoid paying. In a clip, it has been doing the rounds online. A woman wearing a hospital robe and white slippers can be seen arguing with the doctors and nurses on who's trying to stop her from leaving. The woman's face is visibly swollen and almost completely covered with bandages, which makes sense when considering that she had undergone extensive plastic surgery just hours before. A local TV station reported that she traveled to Turkey to get plastic surgery to her face, but as soon as she could walk straight after the cosmetic procedure, she allegedly tried to sneak out of the hospital without paying. The patient was escorted to back inside, but it's unclear if the situation was resolved, and I have no idea how they knew that it was it was me. I mean, I'm just saying. Think about this for a moment. If you go somewhere and you try to have plastic surgery, and then all of a sudden you get the plastic surgery done, and then you try to sneaky eeky out on the bill, I mean, that's hardcore. And then the other portion to think about the whole thing is how much plastic surgery or how little plastic surgery did you have if the people still recognized you when you were trying to sneak out? I'm just saying.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
I was listening to somebody talk about how they were in a foreign country. They went and they ended up having some kind of leg injury, had to get the leg repair done. They prepaid for the actual surgery itself. Everything was agreed upon. They got up, surgery was done, blah, blah, blah. They were going to leave, whole 9 yards, and all of a sudden, no. They had a security guard block the door for the person could not leave. And the reason behind it was the following. They said they could not leave until the insurance finalized the payment of what was going on. And they were not able to leave until the finalized payment from the insurance company was actually there. So it made it a little bit more interesting in regards of hearing about this. Because, I mean, I don't know how your insurance pays for stuff, but I know that normally the insurance providers that I've used in the past, I'm not aware of them being same day pay type of thing. Like, I have one insurance provider that on average is about a week, and I'm not saying that that's bad, but could you imagine all of a sudden you're stuck in a foreign country? You can't manage to leave after you're done with your surgery until your insurance provider pays what's going on. I mean, what kind of prices are going to be racked up? And I mean, how many phone calls do you have to do to make sure that your insurance provider says, oh, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and pay for that now? Because that's going to get weird. I mean, it's going to get weird, and it's going to get weird quick. So, I mean, that's going to be some aspects of it to think about as we are talking. Anyways, it's close to 52 minutes past the top of the hour, so I think it's time for us to bring some John Smalls into our life for him to tell us a little bit about what the hell's going on with the Motivation Minute, because people like that. So let's go ahead and do that now, I guess. Go ahead, John.
Minute, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Dave. Benjamin Disraeli said, "Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action." I agree. I've talked about this before. People who are stuck on ready or aim. Now, these two steps are important, but it's ready, aim, fire. And the fire part matters the most. Now, you don't want to just fire. You need to ready yourself, and of course you need to aim, but you also need to fire. I've worked with people who stay in ready or aim mode for way too long. While they're still in the testing and thinking phase, their competitors are selling out of products. Many times an inferior product will be the winner because they were first. While somebody else was aiming, they were firing. Then they tweak things later.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1 minute devotion. The old man, that is our carnal nature, is a killer. He is selfish, blindly ambitious, critical and cruel. He destroys relationships, breaks up marriages, and wrecks homes. Our best intentions are undermined by our pride, our own gluttonous need for recognition, and by our insatiable ambition. Left to our own devices, we inevitably self-destruct. No wonder Paul writes, "For to be carnally minded is death." How, you may be asking, can you escape the tyranny of your destructive self-will? Honestly confess those areas where greed and lust control your life. Ask Jesus to break their power, for only He can. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Donald Trump's announced he wants 3 presidential debates with Kamala Harris before the election. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says Moscow must feel the consequences of invading Ukraine. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says swift justice for rioters is acting as a strong deterrent, and the US has announced $424 million in aid and humanitarian assistance for the DRC amid ongoing violence in the east.
Here is another bit for our competitors to copy. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the move of the groove of the things that are going on inside of the world, because there is no doubt about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at some things that happened back on this date. In 2017, a giant inflatable chicken resembling President Donald Trump is placed outside the White House as part of a political protest. The 30-foot high bird was erected in Ellipse Park, just south of the White House, by artist and documentary filmmaker Taryn Singh Breyer. Trump never saw the giant chicken as he was outside. Yes, he was outside of, of the office that day. So there you go. That happened back in 2017, just for information purposes. Okay, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Alexa Bliss turns 33. Bill Skarsgård turns 34. Anna Kendrick, 39. Ashley Johnson, 41. Jessica Caption turns 48. Kevin McKidd, 51. Gillian Anderson, 56. DeLon Sanders, 57. Hoda, better saying, from Today's Show turns 60. Michael Kors turns 65. And Sam Elliott, he turns 80 today. So there you go. That's some birthdays for you. Let's see. What else do we have here? If we are looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, I have some of those as well for you. It's, let's see, National Book Lovers Day, National Women's Day, National Co-working Day, Betty Boop Day, Hold Hands Day, National Rice Pudding Day, National Billiards and Pool Day, National Passion Fruit Day, and National Veep Day. So there you go. That's some days to celebrate as we are talking. So a lot of stuff going on inside of there. Anyways, before I forget, let's talk about this Conklin Conference right around the corner. A little over a month left before it actually takes place in Santa Fe, New Mexico, September the 10th through the 12th. Taking place in good old Conklin land. Yeah, no doubt about that. At Conklin Conference number 3, we'll be talking about the world of human and organizational performance. Andrea Baker, Jen Long, Todd Conklin, and Bob Edwards, just to name a few of the people that will be there. I'll be there hosting if you want to come and hang out and do some things and talk about the world of human and organizational performance. So there you go. SafetyFM.io for more information if you're interested in finding out. So there you go. Anyways, let's do this real quick as we are running out of time. If you need a random joke for today, I am sure that I have one of those for you, because why would I not? The capacity for friendship is God's way of apologizing for our families. If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What was the most important store in the world to you when you were 12? Question for the water cooler. 11% of households have these under at least one bed. What are they? Dirty dishes. So there you go. That's going to sum up our time together. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me on this Freeform Friday. Remember, at the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me. If you stay here on Safety FM, you'll get to hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. So if I can leave you with this thought for the weekend, think about this. Happiness is only real when it's shared. Think about it that way. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
There's nothing to hide behind. We can be immortal.